Hello, everybody. Hi, Bob. Hi, Swampy Acres Homestead. Hi, Dragon Lair. Hi, Scotty. Hi, Peplin. Hi, Colette. Hi, Mooney. Hi, Red Triangle. Yep, silent movie. Hi, Peplin Creek. Hi, Susan. Hi, John Cox. Hi, Dee. How are you? My tanks is like making a dribbling noise. So, how is everybody? I have got. Hi, Fish Dreams. Oops, I should turn that thing off. Stop screen. There we go. So as you can probably tell by the title, my arm is still incapacitated. I mismatched socks. Sorry about that. Cleaning mealworms. Yay. Anyway, as you can probably tell by the title, I still can't use my arm yet. So there will be no giveaways tonight. It's been too long though. I can't keep doing this. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to start pushing myself and seeing if I can figure out a way to draw. I can't raise my arm up on the desk, but maybe if I propped up a drawing board somehow or something, because I've got to start drawing. Hi, fishing tanks. Oh no. Well, you got to do what you got to do, and I do understand that my live streams are late. But you have a great night, and thanks for stopping in. Yeah, so anyway, because, my art is my only income, and it's been like 4 weeks now that I have not been able to move my arm. It's slowly getting better, but it's taking its own damn sweet time, that is for sure. So I'm going to start trying to figure stuff out. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to pay any bills. And that's not a good thing. So tonight we are sponsored by my special University of Neon Tetra cup. That's it. Hi, Sandy. Oh my gosh, Bob, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Hi, Daniken. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Hi, Candy. So, yeah, like I say, I got to figure something out because I can't keep doing this. It's not going to work. So, I still haven't made it to the post office. This has not been a good week for my drawing arm. I've been sleeping on it wrong, and I don't know how to stop myself. I keep waking up with like, I have to sleep on my good side, then have my bad arm up, and I keep waking up with my arm clear up underneath my head, which is not a position it particularly wants to go in. So when it does that, when I do that, wake up that way, I have to like free my other arm and carefully move it back an inch at a time. I'm going to try, Candy, because I can't keep postponing, and I need to get up there before the weather gets too cold. So might just take a bunch of pills and go for it. I've got to do it. I've got to do it, and I've got to get to the post office, and I've got to start drawing. Lay down, Betty. So, no, I have not mailed anything yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to try really hard tomorrow. You're 99% now? Yeah, I think I'll look online and see what exercises I can find for it. I've been trying to like the bruising and stuff's going away, but no, I'm not going to do that, Bob. But I've just got to then I got some new bruises showed up, which I'd show you, but it hurts to lift my arm, so I'm not going to show you. But I will get to it. I don't know what I tore, but there's something not right, but it's healing, but really, really slowly. You missed how the camping trip went. 2 days before the camping trip, I fell down and hurt my arm. No, Bob, you have to have it anyway. I'm not going to do that. It's a really nice drawing too, that buffalo. You're going to like it. Besides, I've got them all packaged up. I just got to get out in the truck and go to the post office. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but I woke up like extremely bad. But I should tie my hand down or something so I don't do that in the middle of the night. So it's getting better. It's just, like I say, it's just taking its own sweet damn time about it. And from what people have told me, arm injuries do take a long time. But like I say, I can't keep not drawing, and I've got to start driving. So I can't sleep on my back. It's just the wrong position for it, and it hurts. I can't go to sleep. No hog tying me. So, yeah. So it's getting there. It's going to get there. It's just, I've got to push myself and figure out a way to draw or find something lower than my desk to draw at, because the problem with drawing is I can't lift my arm up on my desk for very long. I can move my hands and stuff fine. So I need to find somehow to lower things down. I'm going to work on that tomorrow, because even if I only draw for a couple hours a day, it's going to be better than what I'm doing now, which is nothing. The doc will want a 15K surgery. No. I'll work on it. I will do exercises and slowly start building it back up to where I can use it again. Oh, now that's a good idea. Wear a t-shirt with your hurt arm inside the shirt so you can't lift it up. That is a good idea. I might have to try that. That's a good idea, because like I keep messing myself up at night, moving it where I shouldn't move it during my sleep. So, yeah, that's a good idea. But yeah, I'm just going to, it's been 4 weeks. I can't just like sit and do nothing. I'm going to have to start trying to work it, and I'm going to have to figure out a way that I can work on my art without lifting my arm up very far in the meantime. Just going to have to do it. So what's going on with everybody else? I should get Bob up here with me so I can say hi to Yazi. I'm going to send Bob the link. Because I haven't seen Yazi for a couple days. And we got to see Yazi. Everybody wants to see Yazi. Besides, he's probably wanting up in Bob's lap by now. Find a neighbor you don't like and strengthen it by giving him the finger. I do that all the time anyway. They just don't see me. I got new neighbors that just moved in with a bunch of kids. Hi, Priscilla. How are you? So I've got to flip them off with my right hand right now, though. But I could start trying to do it with my left. And it's not that I don't like kids. It's just that right now with school starting and here's Bob. Hi, Bob.
Howdy.
But with school starting and the virus is spreading bad in town. In Wyoming, we are one of the few states that has gone up by 100% in the last couple weeks. in the number of cases per day. We've gone up 100%. Yay! Oh. So where's my Yazzie?
Well, you're going to have to wait just a minute for Yazzie.
Is he eating?
I'm eating.
Oh, you're eating. Okay. I get that. Okay.
And you probably think that's all I do, but this is my fourth snack this time of night. So,
Oh, geez, that looks good. Hi, Joe's Tips and Tricks. Welcome to the stream.
hey, Priscilla.
Priscilla is sleepy. I'm heading up to Montana this weekend, Priscilla. No matter what, even if I have to take a handful of pills before I go, I'm going to go this weekend.
Kim, I switched off to extra sharp. Finally got tired of Swiss.
I like sharp cheese and extra sharp. I like all cheeses, but
Oh,
I
see,
like sharp. I like sharp, and I like a strong Swiss cheese too. I really love.
my drape's falling down back there.
Oh, it did.
Yep. I'm going to have to move the bird cage to get in there on a stool to get it back up.
Ah.
So probably Sasquatch is looking in right now.
Oh.
Yep.
You have Sasquatches there?
They live out back. They're in the woods.
Yeah. I went down that wormhole like last week watching a bunch of Sasquatch films, and I really I think they're all over the U.S.
There's some pretty convincing evidence.
Yes, there is. And you don't hear about too much of it unless you start really checking online. The one that there is the most evidence for is the Yeti. I mean, there's really no doubt that there is a Yeti. But they're just, I mean, in Oregon in the last 10 years, there's been over 600 reportings.
Really?
Yeah, and that's just the ones that are reported. And not everybody reports it when they see them.
I'm sharing with the Chihuahuas.
There's got to be something there. I would say it's just me stepping outside naked, but I can't be all over the United States at once, so it's not all me.
11:11. Make a wish.
Here it's a little bit after 9 o'clock. Yeah, Colby's okay, but I like something with a little bit more flavor. But then I also like ones like my mind went blank. I like all cheeses.
Yazzie almost got us in trouble at the laundry.
What did he do?
No one there when I got there, and I thought, oh great, I won't wear a mask. Go in and put the stuff in the washer. This is just dog tails, and we'll sit in the truck and watch stuff. As soon as we got in there, a guy came in, and I think he might have been homeless, but he did have money for his laundry and put his laundry in and all that. But he was nice. I spoke to him, and he dropped something, and I told him, "You dropped something, sir." And so he thanked me. But anyway, when we went back out, he was outside talking to himself and saying, "I'll shoot you," and all that. Well, Yazzie started barking at him, and I'm like, "Oh dear God, Yazzie, you're going to get us in trouble." But he liked Yazzie. He said, "She's full of herself, isn't she?" And I said, "Yeah, she is." Yazzie has no social skills at all.
Yeah.
So every time we went back in and out, that was right before Dan's stream, we were there doing that. He would bark at the man, and the man thought it was funny.
Yeah, last time I went and did laundry, there was or it wasn't last time. This was like a year ago. I went and did laundry, and there was I went in the middle of the night because I like to avoid people's.
Yep.
But I had Buddy with me, and there was a homeless guy in there that was like talking to himself and stuff. So I just took Buddy in with me.
A lot of homeless people are just, they're psychiatric patients that can't get their medicines.
Yeah,
Or
there was a guy that I used to talk to all the time when I worked at Safeway in Portland, and it
yeah,
was in a bad area of town. And I know this guy lived underneath the bridge, but I talked to him all the time, and I'd give him samples once in a while and stuff. But I'd get there in the morning, and he'd be sitting up against the building, and he'd be like, you know.
yep. Trying to get this somewhere. It would make too much sense for me to get my selfie stick or something to put on it. All right, Yazzie, where are you at? Your
I
girlfriend's
just
looking
figured
for-
out today that my good camera actually has a little spot on it where I could hook it up to the computer. So I think I'm going to try that on my next stream. See if I can find a place to put it. But I got to find a connector thing that'll fit in it and see if it'll work. I'll have to do. Hi, Mrs. Griffin. See if I can figure out how to do that. I know, huh, Color Guppies? He's making me hungry too.
I'm finished. He's
Oh, I
drinking.
love getting curds. Curds are so good. Are they Tillamook cheese ones? Tillamook has the best cheese.
Priscilla,
Oh, that's cool, Moonstone.
I'm drinking cranberry and some other kind of something mixed into it, and it's only 5 calories per serving.
There's Yazzie. I know I told you guys before about the homeless guy that came in when I was working in at the deli in Cheyenne, but I don't know how many people here heard it and how many didn't. I know Bob's heard it. And
Which
Ken.
one? What was that about?
Hi, Derek. The homeless guy that came in while I was working at the store in the deli.
Was there a wheelchair involved?
Yes.
I have heard it, but that's a great story. Tell it.
Okay, I don't know how many of you have heard this before, but I was working in the deli at the King Superstore in Cheyenne, and there was just me and one other guy in there. His name was Jeremy, and Jeremy was cooking that day and making chicken. So he asked me if I could get the counter, and I looked and I didn't see anybody, but I stepped around the counter and there was a homeless guy in a wheelchair. And I asked him if I could help him. And he had tears in his eyes. I know, I'm a sucker. He had tears in his eyes, and he said he was hungry and didn't have any money. And it's like a big no-no to give food from the deli. But I was in the middle of packing like cold chicken for the, 8-piece chickens that you put out in the cooler. And there was a couple extra pieces. So I put them in a tray, and then I picked out a couple salads and added to it. And I put it in a bag with a fork and stuff, and I tied the bag shut, thinking that he could go out the door and everybody would think that he paid for it and I wouldn't get in trouble, right? So I gave it to him, and then I went back to work and kind of forgot about it. And about 15 minutes later or so, this lady was at the meat case. So I went to help her, and she was asking me about the different kinds of ham. So I stepped out of the deli to help her. And the first thing I saw was the guy in the wheelchair, and the lady that I was helping asked me if he was dead. And I looked over at him, and he had the tray of food sitting in his lap with a fork in it and a piece of chicken in his hand, and he was passed out cold. And I went and poked him a couple times to make sure he was alive, and he kind of grunted. So I was like, no, he's alive. So I helped her. And then I told Jeremy, I said, that homeless guy is out there passed out. I said, what do I do? And he says, I said, I can't leave him there because people are going to think he took a bite of our chicken and died. And Jeremy said, he said, go do something with him. It's like, what? I don't know. So I went out and I got a hold of the wheelchair and I was wheeling him through the store and everybody was staring at me because he really looked like he had died. And I wheeled him out in front of the store underneath the awning because it was pouring down rain, but I kind of parked him underneath the awning. I didn't know what to do. So then I went back in and Jeremy says, what did you do with him? And I said, I took him outside and parked him underneath the awning. He says, you can't do that. It's like, well, what was I supposed to do with him? And he says, call customer service. So I called customer service and let him know that he was out there. And I think they called the ambulance for him, but I was like, I thought I was so dead. I thought I was so fired because he had a lap full of deli food.
He wasn't dead though, was he?
No, he wasn't dead. He was just passed out. So that's that story. Tillamook's gotten expensive. Yeah, all cheese is expensive though.
Candy, I bet you get some interesting calls or emails.
Hi, Atkins. How are you?
Hey, Ian. Thank you.
There was this guy that worked in the deli at night, and he was pretty worthless. Like, he was so slow. And when you're working at night and trying to close things down, you want to do it fast so you can go home. And he was like extremely slow. And like we'd send him out with the garbage, and all he had to do was take it in the back room and put it in a garbage crusher thing. And it would take him 20 minutes. Oh, God. I'd forgotten about him. So one night, he said that he needed help because the garbage can from the chicken area was too heavy. So I went back to help him. And I walked back there, and he's like pulling everything out a piece at a time and throwing it in the crusher. And I was like, oh, hell no. You know? So I told him to get a hold of the garbage can on one side. And I said, okay, 1, 2, 3, up and over. But I was like, oh my God, there's no way in hell I'm going to like sit there and pull out the garbage one piece at a time.
God.
It was bad. And another time, he went back to take the garbage out. And he came back. The lady in the bakery had given him a bunch of cookies for us. So I'm watching him, and like his hands are totally grimy, and he'd just taken the garbage back. And he reaches in his apron and pulls out cookies out of his apron pocket.
Oh, gosh.
Not wrapped up or anything. And with his filthy hands, and lays them on the counter and says, everybody have a cookie. And I'm like, everybody else came over and got one. I'm like, I'm good. I don't really want a cookie right now. Such is the life. Hi, Maria Munez. And hi, Jessica Socks. And Byron says if you need some Oregon snacks, DM me and you'll see what you can do. I know Oregon's got some good snacks. Oh yeah, everything's going to be coming soon. I haven't been to the post office yet. I'm going to go tomorrow no matter what. Hi BCFR. I've just got to grit my teeth and do it. Hi Chewy. Hi Chicklets. I did see that, and so did um Helen Reddy died yesterday, and so did the actor that played in Little House on the Prairie. I forget his name right now.
Mac Davis died too yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mac Davis died. So yeah, 2020 has been kind of a sucky year. But Betty White is still here. If she goes, I swear to God, I'm going to scream.
She's got to be like 98 or something.
Yeah, she's getting up there. And she's my hero. Hi, Joe's Tips and Tricks. Oh, I've got a whole pile of them sitting here that I made. I just haven't had one yet, Mooney. No, I haven't cut down on them. I've probably been having more of the last weeks that I've been hurt because I don't have any. I can't draw. I can't do anything. My housework, I just do just a little bit at a time as I can. So I'm getting behind on it. Behind on everything. It's driving me crazy, especially driving me crazy because I can't. Good night, Maria.
Good night, Maria.
I can't draw, and it's not. If you're an artist, you understand that that's just like the end of the world. So I got to figure something out tomorrow. Like I said, I could draw if I could get my hands, lift my arm up high enough, but it hurts. So that won't work. So I've got to find something that sits lower. Because if I can find something that sits low enough, I can probably do it. So tomorrow, that is on my list of things to do. "2020 is taking forever, and it's not over yet. We've got the election and shit coming up, and I'm sure. In fact, I know Wyoming isn't the only state that is like going crazy right now. Shh, Priscilla, I wasn't going to tell anybody that I don't have pants on right now. Hi, OG-san.
Well, Pam, if it makes you feel any better, I don't either.
Okay. Well, the camera doesn't hit down there, so I'm okay.
That's right. That's right.
I know it stopped being messy. I'm a messy person. Yeah, I live in Wyoming. But yeah, in Wyoming, our cases have gone up by 100% in the last 2 weeks. And the governor yesterday opened the restaurants back up with no limitations, no restrictions. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
John Cox wants to know about your undergear.
I'm not going to say anything about my undergear.
Oh, Priscilla, that's a good segue into your joke about panties. There's probably some people in here that haven't heard it. Make her tell.
Yeah,
it.
the numbers are always good. They're going to be low in Wyoming because the total population of Wyoming is like 600,000. So numbers are going to be low, but the percentage isn't good with the testing. It's like at 13.5% positive. So that's not very good.
Priscilla, you're nasty. I'm not. I'm a sweet old man. Pam laughed real big on that. Yeah, the flowers on panties. What you should do, Priscilla, is not say women, but say Pam.
No.
Tell it, Priscilla. Go ahead. It's cute.
No, I don't. Not really, Joe. We're like, for the population that we have and stuff, we're up there.
Not
It's like
Jessica.
if you take cases per 100,000 people, we're like in the middle of the list of states, which is not that good. And I think we're climbing. But yeah, if you look at like cases per 100,000, we're not doing that good. The only reason that we have such low numbers is because we have such a low population. Wyoming is like it's shaped just and about the same size as Colorado, but it's like if you took Colorado and cut and pasted it, but you forgot to put people in it.
Crickets while we're waiting on Miss Griffin to answer.
Yep. Waiting on Priscilla for the punchline. Hi, Kiwi. How are you? You always think Wyoming is better at almost everything. Well, we are not doing that good, and a lot of it is because nobody will wear a mask. But the only thing that saves us is our low population. But still, like I say, if you take number of cases per 100,000 people, we're like in the middle. We're not down on the bottom. Okay, Derek, hurry back.
First Ed, now Derek.
My arm is not doing really good right now. Hi, Anthony. It'll get better though. It's just taking its time. But I'm gonna start like trying to do some light exercising movement with it tomorrow and see if I can't get it going again. Because right now I can't draw or anything, and you guys might not know it, but that is my only income. So I have to get my arm better. Hi, Vanoski. I check almost every day and like figure it up. Today we had like 128 new cases, which does not sound that bad, but when you consider our population and stuff, we've been having over 100 cases every day for the last week, and that's not good. Hello, Aquaballs. How are you?
Hey, George. You know, you should have George up one night while he's cooking, Pam.
Oh, I'd be so hungry.
I know. He cooks all the time. He grills.
Yeah. I used to do that when I lived in California, too. Yazzie is so cute. Yazzie's so cute. He's batting his eyelashes.
He's sleepy. He wanted to send you that picture when he heard you hurt your arm to cheer you up.
That's right. That's one of them I haven't sent you yet, huh? I haven't sent your drawing of Yazzie yet, have I? Or did I?
No. Oh, I'm glad it was. No, I'm glad you wouldn't give that away. I forgot it was Yazzie.
Yeah, you got Yazzie coming and you got a buffalo coming.
I can't give Yazzie away. Yeah, he is chewy. He's got a house full of fish.
Yep.
Joe.
Oh my gosh, how many pets do you have, Bob? This is going to be a lot of people's.
Yeah. I have 3 cats, 5 dogs, a skink, a snake, freshwater and saltwater fish.
I will try that moonstone, but it's going to take me a long time until they're straight up, because right now I cannot lift I can like my lower arm is good, but I can't lift like my elbow up further than my waist.
I
That
saw
I
that,
can't with
Sherry.
my shoulders. My shoulders have no trouble. I can roll my arms and everything. It's my upper arm that doesn't want to work. And like I can lift my hand. Yesterday, I actually lifted my hand up and was using both hands to type in a chat. I forget who the chat it was, but it only lasted about 5 minutes and it started hurting too much. I had to put it back down again. But if I can do a little bit like that every day, because I think it's like the muscles and tendons and stuff, I think I need, like, it hurts, but I think if I don't keep pushing it, it's like eventually not gonna move up at all. You know what I mean? Like it'll freeze or something.
It will, yeah. Contracture.
So I'm gonna start tomorrow just working on it. Because it's been too long already. I thought it'd take a couple weeks at the most, and it's been 4 weeks now, and I haven't done a single bit of drawing or anything. Just sitting around feeling sorry for myself. Yep, resting is not your friend. Yep, resting is not working, so I'm going to start like pushing it a little bit every day.
Are you been able to do your water changes?
I did part of them. I have not finished them yet, but I did do a couple of them. But I'm going to do some more tonight before I go to bed. Resting is not your friend. I got to remember that, because even though it hurts, I got to keep pushing it a little bit.
That would be great on a tombstone. Resting is not your friend.
Perhaps you could do a video on artists that influenced you. That would be cool. I never really went to art school though, so I don't know the names of a lot of artists. Yeah, I don't want to overdo it, because then it like hurts like hell for a long time. But I gotta push it a little bit, because I can't just keep this up like I'm doing now. For one thing, I'll end up like getting kicked out of my house. One of my favorite sayings is, I think it's Picasso said, I got like almost a full bottle or half a bottle. I got half a bottle of Fireball still. But one of my favorite sayings, I think, is by Picasso, and it's inspiration exists, but it has to find you working. I like that one.
That's pretty cool. I don't have any, Priscilla.
But like I said, I got to figure out a way to work. And I've got like a drawing that I should have like had done for aqua balls, like back when I first hurt my arm. I just have a few little touch-ups to do on it, and I got to get it done and get it sent to them. So I need to get back to work on it somehow. I need to figure out a way that I can work on
Fine, Priscilla, fine.
it.
I was waiting in the line at customer service at Walmart a couple of days ago, and they have some kind of shops. They have different shops in there, eye shops and different things. But there was a place up front that was like gifts, not Elaine's, but something like that. And they had all kinds of cool, like Halloween. Some of it was Halloween themed, but like ears and things to put on. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So I pushed my cart in there, and I'm starting to look at all that stuff, and the line moved, and I lost my place. So I'm like, never mind. That would
Hi,
make
John of Earth. How are you?
Somebody
But
said, like long
oh
ago,
my gosh, I have 5 dislikes.
you're slacking, Pam.
I am. That's like 5 dislikes is more than usual, actually. Got an art of bull terriers. Bull terriers are cool looking dogs.
They're all still available, Kim, because we're not doing pre-adoptions and people can't pick one or prepay or anything. Remember that we lost 2 of them and they're inbred. So they go to the doctor, to the vet for their first checkup. So we want, they're going to be looking for heart murmurs and liver shunts and stuff like that.
Hi, Rabbit.
So we got to wait till we see what we got. So about 3 months. Yeah. You need to take him to find a puppy, Candy. I'm sure you've got a rescue or shelter there.
I got Buddy's little walkway thing in today, but I still got to open it up. Hi, Miles, and get it out. And I'm gonna have to start using it on the steps for him too to get in and out of the house. Because like last night, he fell down the steps when he was trying to go down the steps to go outside. He like fell on his face. So I'm like, yeah, we got to get that thing set up for him.
Poor Buddy. Hey, Miles.
So I'll probably do that tonight. Get it out of the box and get him used to it before the camping trip too, so I don't have any trouble loading him up in the truck. But I'm going to start setting it up for him to go in and out, and then I'll just fold it up and keep it by the steps.
Is it very heavy?
It's kind of heavy, but I can handle it. A lot of people would say that I should take Buddy in and but I just can't yet. He's still not unhappy or anything, so.
Yeah, Kim, you're right. I don't know if he's going to want to do any lab work or anything like that either. So I'm just not comfortable letting them, knowing what we know about that their brother's their daddy. So I'm just not comfortable. And with 2 of them passing like that so early. I've never seen puppies take to food like they did. Man, they were on that like nothing else. First meal. First solid meal. Yes, Kiwi. I want to know. Yasi even wants to know. Oh, very good.
Okay, Kiwi, you got to tell us now. I hope the puppies are okay.
Yeah, well, like Kim said, they're doing great. They go potty. They started going over to a corner of their kennel, so we've, fixed that so that it's ready for them and we can just change it out all the time and closes that window of opportunity. I don't know what you mean by that. They're Chihuahuas. their mom came in pregnant at the Ark, and when they opened her up to spay her at the vet, they thought she had 8, but it turned out to be 6. And then so we, of course, said no, don't abort them, and or take them out. So we brought her back, and she did fine. But then 2 of them passed. But we found out that her 2 adult puppies that came with her, that the adult male was the father of these puppies. In other words, her son. And it may go back further than that.
Hmm.
Miles was 27. That sounds erroneous, Miles, because we already had 40 something. But you could have been.
Oh my gosh, I've got 7 dislikes now.
Yep.
It must be because I don't have any giveaways tonight.
It's probably because I'm sitting up in here holding a dog. Who knows? Who knows? What most people don't realize, though, is the dislikes count just like engagement, just like the likes. So
That's true.
it's the same thing. So.
Oh my gosh, I've got 8. Yay!
I only see 7. I must be behind on updates.
9. I've got 9. 9
Awesome.
dislikes. Oh my God.
Yep.
I think that's a record for me.
Is it?
Candy says 10.
Can we do it like likes? Somebody did that one time. They tried to get everybody to dislike, and they got more dislikes than likes. So, yeah.
Hi, Jesse. Well, evidently you missed something because I've got like 9 dislikes already. Parvovirus can get your pups even if vaccinated, but Neopar fixes that. Mom's antibiotics fade, and there's a window of opportunity before pups can make antibiotics from the shots.
Yep, she's right. We just had a seminar about parvo and all those different scenarios. Kim, our veterinary medical director, did it for the board, and almost all the volunteers came. It was really good, but it's like 3 hours. Yep, you're true. You're true. What you said is true. That's one reason that we're still using very aseptic techniques, but we always do anyway. We've never had parvo in the shelter, knock on wood, but we're still using disposable gloves just to handle them and stuff like that. So change their bedding.
Chewy says the thing he doesn't like about Japan is that they are one of the 3 countries left hunting whales. I have got some art lined up to talk about if we get bored.
Let's talk about it.
Let me pull it up here.
Welcome back, Maria. Yazzie's worn out, Kim. He did go to the laundry with me to do the dog's towels. And I think he thought it was going to be to the pet shop or the fish store or, somewhere like that. He was not happy.
Oh.
I walked him all around the area. There's a bar at the other end of the laundromat, the strip that we were in. So he was wanting to go down there, and I'm like, no, you bark at people too much. An outside bar.
Let me see here. Yeah, that'll work on the screen share, I think. So, does anybody want me to talk about assholes bad? What? What, Mooney? What are you talking about? Oh dear.
Do what?
I don't know where that came from.
Who are you talking about? Yes, he's so relaxed.
Must have been like a long time ago. I just saw it on the StreamYard thing, which is always behind.
Oh yeah. Kim said something about the assholes are bad or something.
Yeah,
I saw that, but I didn't know what it was about. You said the coffee's good, and she said the assholes are bad, but I don't know what it was about.
Oh, yeah. See, my StreamYard chat never moves very fast, so I always have a regular one open, the regular stream open to read the chat.
Your kid let Kim.
So, okay, does anybody want to know anything about this painting?
Yeah, who is that?
That is a guy that I was friends with like many, many, many years ago. And he was a pretty good fiddle player. So I decided to do a painting of him. And I had the painting about maybe a third done, and then I moved. And it didn't get finished for like 5 years. And it's a good thing that I keep a notebook and I always write down stuff that I'm working on, and I'll write down what colors I used and stuff, because you can't switch oil paint colors in the middle of a painting. You have to use the same colors, of course. So how do you get a print? I might be able to do a print of that one. I'll have to see if I have a good enough photograph of it. I've got some. Pretty soon I'll be having to send prints out again for my Patreon, so maybe I'll do that one. And then I'll let you know. But I need to get over to I'll see if I got a good photograph of it, and I'll get over to the print shop and see if I can make a print. But the original was like 12 by 24. So, but anyway, yeah, it was kind of fun to do, and but like I say, I had to finish it like years later, so it was a good thing I had all the colors written down. The fiddle itself, I took and I painted it white, and then like used transparent paint over it, so it kind of glows a little bit in the original. So I like doing that to like draw attention to different things. So I did that with the fiddle. And I can't really think of too much else to say about that one. I named it Mountain Music. But yeah, I'll get over to if the print shop's open, it should be, because I think most of their business is college kids, and the college is open, which is one of the reasons that Albany County, which is where Laramie is one of the hot spots in Wyoming. Yay.
Welcome back, Derek.
Yeah, welcome back, Derek. So I'll go on to the next one. Thank you, Dragon Lair. So let's see, what have I got? I just threw a bunch on here. This one is called The Artisan. And it was a guy that was doing, I don't know him, but he was doing a demonstration at the state fair in Massachusetts when I lived on Cape Cod. And he was demonstrating how to make brooms. And the door that shows behind him was like the door of a wagon, and then he had all of his tools and stuff set up. But he was making brooms, and this one was used. The community college on Cape Cod got a hold of me and asked me if they could use it for their yearly flyer that they sent out with the list of all their classes and all that stuff. So it ended up being on the cover of that. And then I also entered this one in the art show at the Cheyenne. I forget what it's called now. Their big art show that they have every year in Cheyenne. I was on Cape Cod at the time, but I sent it to them, and it got best oil and sold, so that was good. And I used the money from this sale actually to move back to the West. I moved to Montana, like I put it away and saved it and used it to move. Cheyenne Frontier Days, that's what it is. The Cheyenne Frontier Days art show. It got best oil that year. That's awesome, Dragon Lair. There's an old prison penitentiary, the Wyoming State Penitentiary here in Laramie, that has like a little gift shop, and they have handmade brooms in there too. And one of these days I'm gonna like splurge and get myself one.
I wonder if they still make those little whisk brooms. Remember those?
Yeah, I used to always have one of those.
Yeah.
Years ago, I kept one out in my truck all the time to like sweep the mud out and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I need because it's just rubber mats, and I'm I'm the only one hardly ever in it, and I just need to like sweep out my side every now and then.
I bet they still make them. Just have to look for one.
Yes, I'll Google it because I have to either get out the vacuum or go to the car wash every time.
I should try drawing with an oversized pencil. What kind of oversized pencil?
Oh, they do, Kevin? Awesome.
California king snakes eat rattlesnakes. Yeah. Bull snakes are good for that too. I always use the bull snakes alone because they keep the rattlesnakes away.
There's a YouTube video was out about, 2 months ago. Somebody had a tub and had a California king snake and a rattlesnake in it. And as soon as the rattlesnake, started to barely move, the king snake was on it. And, and I'm like, well, that's not fair. Maybe it would have outran it. And they said, no, it would have tracked it down and got it still if it wasn't in the tub,
Yeah.
It was like fishing in a barrel kind of thing to me, but they said no.
Yeah, bull snakes will scare you at first glance because they're colored just like rattlesnakes, but they don't have the viper cheeks and the rattles. So when you look at their heads, you can tell that they aren't a poisonous snake, but they will eat rattlesnakes.
We used to have a big king snake here around the property, and I would often drive up and it would be sunning out in the front yard.
Is that one you showed in your one? I remember there was a video of one on your porch.
No, that was on the deck. That was a little guy, but there used to be a great big guy that was, thick and I don't know, maybe like 4 feet. I don't know. It was big.
Hi, Igor.
But it would eat. I had a lot of, not rattlesnakes, but the poisonous snakes that we have around here so much. I can't remember the name. Sorry. Anyway, it cleaned them out. Something cleaned them out because they're gone. I haven't seen them in a long time, but I used to find them all the time.
Yeah, I used to leave the bull snakes alone, and also when we lived on a ranch and there was always bales of hay stacked around and stuff, that's a good place for rattlesnakes.
Yeah,
so I got for right up close to the house. I I raised some guinea hens because guinea hens are hell on rattlesnakes too.
That's what my niece's husband did. They've got a nice, they just built a house. They've got a beautiful property with two creeks on it in the mountains, like 3 miles away. It's just gorgeous. And it's only like 30 minutes from here, but they got some guineas, and the hawks keep getting them. So he's trying
Oh,
to figure out a way to, yeah,
I
because they're
never
not
had trouble with
rattlesnakes.
hawks getting them, but there was one day that it was it was bird hunting season, and some idiot pulled into the driveway and shot one of the guinea hens off of the stack of hay. I'm sure he thought it was some kind of a game bird. But I was like, son of a gun, really? You killed one of my guinea hens?
A lot of people think that they're female peacocks, but they're not.
No, they aren't. No.
No.
They do kind of look like a wild bird. I mean, you know, if you didn't know what they were.
No. Chewy, that's awful.
But they don't like rattlesnakes. They'll eventually kill them, but first, like if there's a rattlesnake, they'll surround it and just make a hell of a racket, and then they'll start diving in and pecking at it. Hi, Griffin.
They are very loud.
Yeah, they are. They do make a lot of noise. But when you got little kids that are playing outside all the time and you know there's rattlesnakes around, they're good to have.
Griffin brought the party.
So I'm going to go to the next one, which I have no idea what it is because, like I said, I was just threw some together real quick.
Pam, the one you did of the broom maker, I was waiting for somebody to say that looks like a picture because they almost always do when you show that one, and it pisses you off.
Hi, Reels. This one is a kid named Jason that when I lived in this canyon and surrounded by ranches, his grandparents owned the ranch next to me. And I did this painting of him, and he was a little shit, a cocky little shit, which you can probably tell by looking at the painting of him. But this was when they were doing branding, and I was helping him out. So I did a painting of him, and actually when he got older and was in college, he was like doing the rodeo with the college, and he won all kinds of awards and stuff for team roping.
Cool. That's not the kid that I have, is it?
No. Mm-mm. Different kid. So that was like a big oil painting. I forget exactly what size it was, but it was a real big, tall one. You thought it was someone cleaning fish? Okay, so we'll go on to the next one because there's not too much to say about that one. Like I say, I just kind of threw some together real quick. Okay, so this is a gray jay, and it was a 16 by 20 oval, and it was a lot of fun to do. And I named it Camp Robber because in Oregon, that's what we always called them, was camp robbers. Because when you were out camping, they'd hang around and steal the crumbs and stuff off the picnic tables.
So they have Spanish mouse in Oregon too?
Oh yeah,
I never thought about that.
not as much as down south, but there is moss hanging on the trees and stuff. That was another one that I had started, and then it ended up in my storage unit when I was doing some moving around, and I didn't finish it for a couple of years later. I pulled it back out and finished it. And yay, I had the colors written down. always, if you're an artist, when you start an oil painting, always write down what you're using.
What if you're blending colors?
Well, you still got to kind of use the same colors. When I do oil paintings, believe it or not, I'll usually use one color of blue and one color of red and one color of yellow and then white. And I'll mix all my colors from those three basic colors. So you got to remember what you were using. Hi, LP Lurking. So most of my oil paints, every once in a while I'll add like a fourth or fifth color, but most of them are three basic colors and I've mixed all the variations and stuff from three colors, which helps to tie the oil painting together when you're done with it. I mean, because, you know, you're using the same colors. So one of the things that I notice looking at people's paintings, and I can always tell if they've done it, and it's a mistake, is if you just like try to match up the color to the photograph or to life or whatever you're using to do it from, and you try to match each color, you can always tell. And a lot of times, like if you have a cow, let's say if you have a white horse standing out in the middle of the field, you're going to have the color of the horse, but on its back, you're going to have a little bit of sky color mixed in because it reflects the sky. And then as it rolls down into the shadow, that's where you're going to have the actual color of the horse. And then you're going to get into some shadows. But then as you get to the belly, you're going to, even on a somewhat cloudy day, but mostly on a sunny day, is real obvious, you're going to have the color of whatever the horse is standing in, like grass, green grass, or yellow grass is going to be reflected up on the horse's belly. So you're pulling, Kevin, you're pulling all the colors from everything around it into the color of the horse. And if you don't do that, you're going to end up with a painting that looks like you took the animal and pasted it onto the background. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going to look for that.
I don't know if I'm explaining it well enough, but
yeah, it makes sense.
The shadows got to be all, and shadows are going to be the same color, whether it's like, say it's standing by a tree, the color of the shadows of the tree are going to be the same as the color of the shadows on the horse. And like say, if you don't do that, then the horse doesn't belong in the background. And I've seen a lot of paintings like that where it looks like somebody just like took the animal and like pasted it into the landscape. And that's why it does that, is because you got to use the same colors. And I'm sure that probably bored everybody to death, but there you go.
Welcome back, Ian.
Hi, Amy. How are you? You just got back from the ER. What the heck did you do?
She's been having trouble.
Big J, how are you?
Big J.
I'm giving everybody unsolicited art advice.
Oh, you're down to 8, so somebody must like the art class.
Hey, Phil. Great artist tips. You probably already knew all that stuff, but yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Amy. Yeah, it makes it look flat. It doesn't look like, say, you got to use the same colors in the background as you use in the animal.
But you've seen people that cut out things and like make collages and stuff, and somehow it pulls it off.
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking at all the white horses now.
I don't know if I've got one on here, but I'll go on to the next I don't think I got a horse on here, but
Hey,
I'll go
Phil.
on to the next painting. See what the next painting is. Okay, the swan. This is a mute swan. And if you look at it, see this color of blue here in the water? That water is different to paint because water has no color. Water is a reflection of things around it, which like in the flat areas is going to be the color of the sky. And like here you can see through it. But water has no color by itself. It's a reflection of everything around it. But you see the color of the sky right say like right there. You also see it on the swan right here. See the color of the sky in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got like the dirt and stuff here, and you see up here you got that reflected in the swan along with a little bit of the sky where the feathers are sticking out. Sometimes it's not so obvious because it's just a real faint addition, but it's got to be there. So that is a mute swan, and that was on Cape Cod. And that's the one where I had one of my kids was with me, and I had her throwing pieces of bread out into the water while I sat off on the side on the bank so I could get some good pictures of the swan. And when she ran out of bread, the swan went after her. And she ran screaming to the car and slammed the door behind her. Oh, it was so funny. I was laughing.
Why do they call that a mute swan? Do you know?
I don't really know unless they aren't real super loud.
Oh, okay.
But the mute swans are the ones that were brought over here from England. And it's actually still in the laws that the Queen owns all of the mute swans. Actually still in the law books. But they are on the East Coast. They've kind of taken over all the waterways because they'll find a waterway and stay there their whole life. That's their territory, and they're very territorial. So they'll raise their babies, and then when the babies are about a year old, they'll drive them off and then have some more. But so people like them because you can like get a pair of them and put them in a lake in your yard, and they'll stay there. They won't go anywhere.
Oh.
But the problem with them is they're very territorial. So when our native swans come through, they drive them off. So on the East Coast, it's very, very rare now that you see like a trumpeter swan or a tundra swan because of the fact that the mute swans have taken over all the waterways.
I wonder if they interfere with the Canadian geese.
Yeah, there's a certain point, and I'm not sure where the cutoff line is, but there's a point past where you can't have any mute swans unless you sterilize them, because they don't want them to go all the way across the United States and kill off all of the other swans that are native to here. And they're also compared to like a trumpeter swan or the tundra swan, they're very they're a nuisance and they're mean. They're very mean. So yeah, they will attack you. I think they've actually like drowned a couple people before.
Wow.
Whereas like the trumpeter swans, I've got like tons of photographs of them, and I've done paintings of them and stuff. And they will they'll walk right up to you and get the bread and stuff, but they don't attack you. Whereas the mute swans, you've got to keep an eye on them because they're worse than Canadian geese are. I'm not sure, Anthony. I just noticed it the other day that I could pin a comment. So I pinned a comment. But I don't know if there's a certain number that you have to be at before you can. I'm not sure.
Judy, I'm not sure. I don't know, Chewy.
Mute
my
swans
gosh,
are worse than
I'm not
domestic
sure.
geese about chasing people. Yeah, they are. Mute swans are mean. Chewy says, can you have Japanese newts in your state?
I don't know. I first said I'm not sure, but I am sure that I don't know. So
Yeah, I imagine they have them in Switzerland too. Like I say, I think the original ones were brought over from England many, many, many years ago. And they are pretty. You can tell them they have like the nub on their head that like our native swans don't have. But they are mean little boogers. Mean. So I'm going to go on to the next one. If anybody gets bored of this, just tell me.
I wonder if they're tasty, like for Thanksgiving or something. Just curious.
I don't know. I don't think that you can kill them because, like, say, legally they belong to the Queen of England.
Right. I don't want to mess with the queen. I will, Chewy.
I think that we could like gather them all up and send them back to her.
I know, right?
All because you were eating an apple. Yeah, they'll go after your food. And they will go after you if they've got babies and you get too close to their nest. They will go after you. Okay, so I know I've showed this painting before and talked about it, but there's a lot of people in here that aren't here all the time, so I'll go ahead and do it anyway. If that's okay with everybody. If you don't want me to, just say no, Pam, stop.
I'm enjoying it.
So this is a painting that's called Twilight. And I did this many years ago when I was living in Oregon, I think. And it was a mare and colt out in the sagebrush and stuff. So she is a little bit skinny looking, and it's because she's a range horse. She's not like barn fed and plump and stuff, you know. There's a total difference from a horse out on the range and one that's raised in a barn. John says muted swans in the USA are fair game and can be privately owned, but in England they cannot be touched by anyone other than the royal family. Well, like I say, technically they still belong to the queen over here. And you can have them in your lakes and stuff, but there's a certain point in the United States, if you go past that point, they have to be sterilized. Horses' butts. Yes, it's horses' butts. Anyway, yeah, so this horse was out in the field, and I love the light hitting their butts because painting is all about light, which is one of the reasons why I like doing horses' butts, because I love the light hitting all their muscles and stuff. But this was the very first painting where I played around with the white paint and light. And so this part right here, all the parts where the light's hitting, I painted that white first, and on the colt too, all this here, I painted it white first, and then I used transparent paint and, you know, put the details in and put color over the top of the white. So what happens when you do that, what happens is, and this one, it really showed up because the background was fairly dark. But what happens is when you have it hanging on the wall, the daylight or whatever light you're using hits the painting, and the light goes through the paint and hits the canvas, or the white paint hits the white paint and bounces back out again. So what that does is it makes it look like it's glowing. And I entered this one in an art show in Ellensburg, Washington, and it got turned down. I entered this painting and a drawing, and they didn't take the painting, so I always used to rent a room there and, you know, have my art in the room. They had like a the whole hotel would be rented out by artists, and you'd go from room to room to see everybody's art. And I had it hanging on the wall in my room, and everybody was like, you'd watch them come in and see the painting, and they'd go over and move the painting to look behind it because they thought that I had a light behind it
Oh,
to make it glow like that, because it really glowed. And so people were checking to see if I had a light behind it. And what was funny is I had a bunch of artists came in my room and were looking at it and asking me how I did that painting. So I was explaining it to them. And there's another artist, his name's Harvey something Harvey, but he's a real famous Western artist. And he does like scenes of cowboys in yellow slickers, and he'll do them like right at dark where the street lights are like glowing. And I know that's how he does the street lights. I know that's how he does it. But anyway, back to this painting. So the other artists were looking at it, and one of the artists asked me why I didn't enter it in the show. And I told him I did enter it in the show, but it wasn't accepted. So they got quite indignant, and this whole group of artists, I didn't join them because I was embarrassed. This whole group of artists went down to the office of the people that were running the show to ask them why the hell they didn't put that painting in the art show. Can you believe that? And the reason they didn't put it in the art show is because by that time I was getting to be well known for my charcoal, and I'd entered a charcoal too. So they took the charcoal because, like I said, I was becoming well known for doing charcoals, and I still wasn't as expertise on my oil paintings. I was learning, so they didn't take it. But anyway, so that's the story on that painting.
I've never heard anyone say that art is shadows or art is dark, or just, I wonder why. Because it's not.
Dark art. Dark
Yeah.
art. I think when people talk about dark art, they're usually talking about like the subject matter and stuff.
There's a Tennessee artist named Thomas Kincaid, and people love his stuff. He's not my forte.
I hate his stuff.
Yeah, he's not my forte. But he's supposed to be the master of light and so on and so forth, and he just doesn't do it for me.
No,
His
he
stuff
does.
is.
He does. If people don't know him, you'd probably recognize his work if you saw it, because he does like cabins in the woods with a lake in front of him.
Well, he's a knockoff Ben Hampton.
Yeah, he does basically the same painting.
Except Ben Hampton is a great artist, so, or was.
My one of my kids, I think it was Courtney, sent me a picture of a painting of, and she said, I absolutely love this. Take a look at this, Mom. So I opened it up, and I thought it was a Thomas Kincaid painting because it had the cabin in the woods with a road leading up to it at twilight, with the windows glowing on the cabin and a stream running by. And I was like, oh my God, it's a Thomas Kincaid painting. And then I did a double take because there was a car with its headlights down in the stream, like half underwater, where it left the road and its headlights were underneath the water. I started laughing. It was funny. She sent it to me just to show me that. And it made me laugh. But I don't like talking about other people's art, but he is not one of my favorite artists. I think he found a formula and made a good living off that formula of doing, like, say, basically the same painting over and over again. Yeah, I do Dragon Lair. That's I can't remember her name right now. And I like her stuff, but there again, it's a gimmick. And she does it very well. She's not the best artist when it comes to like using colors and blending and the stuff that I was just talking about. She's not the best, but she's got the gimmick of hiding things in her paintings, and she does it very well. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Who we're talking about, don't you, Bob? I can't remember her name right now. Assembly line painter Kincaid. Exactly, Phil. Exactly. Dang, why can't I remember her name? Can't remember. Can't remember. She did like the paint horses standing in the aspens, and then she did one of like some guys on horseback with tree faces in the trees and stuff. Like I say, she does that very well, but if you forget that part of it and just look at the painting, it's not super good. But it's still good. It's still good. And now I probably pissed off a whole bunch of people for saying that. Oh my God, I just got a whole bunch more dislikes.
I don't know who she is.
Oh, I can tell you real quick because I think the name of the one painting is Eyes in the Forest or something like that.
Is she famous? I might recognize her.
Yeah, she is famous in the Western art world. Of course, I'm not pulling it up. Do painting.
Excuse me.
Bev Doolittle. That's who it is. Bev Doolittle.
No, I don't know.
Like I said, I kind of like her stuff, but it's a little bit of a gimmick, and the paintings, if you just break down and forget all the others, the gimmick part, and look at the paintings, they're okay, but they aren't like super fantastic.
Did you say you
Bev Doolittle?
Did you say you didn't know who Ben Hampton is?
Him, I don't know.
Very local to the Southeast, so. But he's a legitimate Thomas Kincaid. I mean, he does that kind of scenes, but he does a lot of various stuff, not the same picture over. Like I have a rambling rose on an old shed, and it's got like 14 chickadees in it. It's fun to find them, stuff like that.
Right now, Moonstone, I don't have a lot of prints right now. And I think you got the cowboy already. And I think you got the bear, and those are the only two I have right now. I've got to make some more prints here like really soon because I've got some more to send out on Patreon. But I've got to get some more made. I did not Dragon Lair. I got to remember to do that. Got to make myself a mental note.
Oh, I've seen her stuff.
Bev Doolittle?
Yeah. I've seen it is hanging in my dentist's office. Yeah, and she's not bad. It's a little bit like she found a gimmick that worked. Right.
I've
seen it hanging in my dentist's office because I remember getting up to look at see who it was. Huh. She's in Sweden. Right.
That's awesome, Mooney. Okay, and this little Indian girl was in the parade before the rodeo in Dallas, Oregon when I lived there. And she was kind of fun to do. The photograph is not the very best of it. But here's a reflection thing. You see how it was very hot and sunny that day. And you see how the reflection is hitting back up on her face from the beads and stuff. Underneath her chin, you can see it a little bit. And then on the side of her face in the shadow. But the shells on that outfit, oh my God, that one took me forever. But I had some concho shells and I had some blue material and I was like holding them in the different positions so that I could get the right reflections of where, in that position where the blue from the outfit was reflected and where the red was reflected and stuff. And it took me forever because I did that with every single shell. And then her hand wasn't in the photograph, so I had one of my kids come in and hold their hand and hold beads and hold their hand in that position so that I could paint her hand. So, and that one won Best in Show at an art show in Omak, Washington.
How did you? I know you're self-taught. You learn like the reflection and how you're talking about the white horse. How did you learn all that? Did you read it, study it, or?
I did read it, but you'd be surprised what I read. I didn't actually read art books. I read science books on how light works, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I had several that I read, and one of them I read about 3 different times on how light works and how reflections work and how colors come from the light. Actually, say the blue material, the light, when sunlight hits it, the material absorbs everything except the blue, and the blue is reflected back at you. So that's how, the colors are. They aren't, it's like as the light spectrum breaks up and gets absorbed, it's the ones that don't get absorbed and bounce back at you that makes the color. If that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, I read like scientific books on how light works as opposed to reading art books. And I guess that's kind of silly, huh?
No.
Good night, Phil.
See you later, Phil.
So should we do any more, or is everybody tired of this stuff yet?
Do one more anyway.
One more? Okay.
Anyway.
No, don't do any more, Moonstone, or no, you're not tired of it.
Well, it's only 12:31 on the East Coast.
It's only 10:31 here. Okay, yeah. I'll do another one. I'm just afraid I'm like boring people.
Well, they know how to click out,
Or hit the dislike button.
You've won one more. It's down to 7 now.
Okay, so this is a bull buffalo in Yellowstone Park on a nice spring day in Yellowstone. So you got the orange grasses behind us because it's, basically the end of winter. So everything's in oranges and browns. Definitely use my 3 favorite colors to use in this one because I use the same basic colors in a lot of wildlife paintings because they're very earthy, earth-toned and stuff. Like instead of a bright red, I use a burnt sienna, which is kind of like a dark orangish red. And then cobalt blue, which is a nice bright blue. And yellow ochre, which is like a soft, earthy yellow. And I know I definitely use that in this painting. But yeah, it's a bull buffalo. You'll usually find the bulls off by themselves for most of the year. The only time that they really join the herd is during breeding season. They'll, like a calf will grow up, and for a few years, you'll see some bulls in the herd, but they aren't the really big ones. The great big old bulls go off by themselves or in groups of like 2 or 3 bulls. But they don't generally hang out with the herd of buffalo, except when it's breeding season, and then you'd better stay out of their way. Oh no, Bob disappeared.
Still here.
So anyway, this was just a small painting. It was like 12 by 24. Well, technically it's a bison, Priscilla, but pretty much everybody calls them buffalo, but technically they are a bison. And there's several different kinds of bison. And I believe the ones in Yellowstone is one of the few remaining herds of wood bison. Because, they basically got wiped out when the white man came. But there was just a few left. And the ones in Yellowstone are pure blood, meaning they don't have any cow or anything mixed in with them. And they're one of the few groups of this kind of bison left in the United States. There's also another kind that's slightly bigger than them, that's purebred, that are up in Alberta. But in a lot of places, when you see the buffalo or bison, they've been mixed with cows and stuff over the years, although you can't really tell by looking at them. But the ones in Yellowstone are purebred ones. But everybody calls them buffalo, but technically they are bison. And I've been corrected a few times when I've called them buffalo, but I still call them buffalo. So, should I move on to one more? Yeah, the ones up in Canada, there's some purebred ones, I think in a big park in Alberta, top of Alberta or something. And they're purebred too, but they're a slightly different kind than the ones in Yellowstone. And basically you can't tell the difference, except they are bigger. They're bigger than the ones down here.
Priscilla, be careful. Don't be that woman got out too close to that bison, and it showed her what it thought about that. Getting close to her.
Yeah, people think they're like cattle, and I've seen people get out of their cars and like go out in the middle of a herd getting photographs and stuff, and that is really stupid. That is not a smart thing.
I have this one, Pam.
Do ya? A print of that one? Yeah. This one was a commission. Lady wanted me to do a drawing or a painting of her daughter. One of her daughters. I actually did a drawing of her other daughter. But her daughter was super vain, so I kept having to. This is why a lot of times I don't do commissions, because I had to keep like making her look younger and making her look thinner and all that kind of stuff. But she was riding on she was in a field of grass, but I put her in sagebrush and stuff, and then just started like playing with the background. And I noticed when I was dragging my brush down, it kind of looked like it was raining, so I kind of went with that. And I kind of like how the background turned out.
I've never been sure if that was or a girl, so you said.
It's a girl.
Not that it matters, but I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, that one was a commission. But it didn't turn out too bad.
No, I love the saddle.
The leather. Yeah, I like doing saddles. I remember when I moved back to Montana from Cape Cod and was in the truck, in the moving truck. And there was two things. When we pulled off the freeway and went over cattle guards, I was like, oh yeah, I'm home, because there's no cattle guards on the East Coast. So So I was like, yep, that's it. I'm home. And then one day I went with my daughter into town, the first time we went into town. And at the edge of this little town that I'd moved to, there was some horses and stuff. And Megan was like, what is that smell? That awful smell. And I like took a deep breath and I was like, that is the smell of horse sweat and leather. And I like that smell myself. It's a very distinct smell, but I like it. Brings back good memories.
That's better. No.
And this painting I actually have sitting up on my china cabinet right now. It is a painting of Cape Cod. Oh, very cool, Igor. Yep, this is on Cape Cod, and it's outside of a town named Sandwich. That's on the edge of the canal when you first cross over on the Cape. And it's a very old town, and those are both very old churches, the steeples that show. And this is from the Old Kings Highway. And that's a salt marsh, and then with a line of trees, and then the churches show from the actual town. The steeples pop up over it. But I kept driving by this spot for like a month waiting for the color to change to the fall colors because I really wanted to paint it. So that's what that painting is. I still have that painting. It's up on top of the china cabinet.
You said once before that this was one of the very few landscapes you'd done.
Yeah, I don't very often do a landscape, but I did this one. I think I've got one of the oldest lighthouses on the Cape. I painted too. Hi, GRB. How are you? Amen to the horse smell. Yeah, horse sweat and leather is a good smell.
Hey, GRB. I didn't see you. Sorry. Cashews are dessert now.
Now you're making me hungry.
Priscilla, what did you mean about squinting your eyes from afar? That was lost on me, whatever.
Yeah, I've known a few people that have had buffalo, and I've also known a few that had like beefalo where they crossed them. I knew one guy in Montana that, hi, Fish Pappy. He decided to cross. He had some Scottish Highlanders. Actually, I think he started out with Holsteins, or not Holsteins, with
Hey, Fish Pappy.
I can't remember what kind of cows he had. But anyway, he decided to bring in some Scottish Highlanders to hopefully make his other cattle more better able to survive the winters in Montana. And it was a disaster because the crosses ended up with these absolutely wicked horns. And I mean wicked horns. Like really long, twisted horns. And then what happens when you have horns like that is when you load them up in a truck and take them to the sale, you lose money on them because of the bruising of the meat caused by so many horns. So you don't get top dollar on them because of the horns.
They used to dehorn the cows when we were little, but I think it was just because they didn't want to get, when they get butted and stuff, they didn't want to horn. They were dairy cows, they weren't beef cows.
Ah.
It didn't seem to hurt them, they just sawed them off.
Yeah, no, it won't hurt them to saw them off, no. My grandpa had a dairy. He had God, my mind just went blank. I should quit drinking that Fireball. Jerseys. He had jerseys and a couple Holsteins. And he told me that the jerseys gave like top-notch cream, like high grade, like A. But he mixed in a couple Holsteins because the Holsteins gave more milk, but without the cream, without as much cream. So he mixed in a couple Holsteins that would increase his amount of milk, but not enough to drop it down from grade A. So there's a tip for you if you ever decide to go get a dairy.
Yeah, it's on my short list.
Oh, that should probably be enough art for tonight, huh?
Yeah, I knew that, Chewy. I remember seeing that. I didn't know they used heated irons on them. That sounds like it hurts. Maybe not.
Yeah, and then don't they have like a pink paint that they've been using too, to like paint the ivory on the elephants and stuff so that it is not, it makes it worthless so that the poachers won't get them, won't bother shooting them.
Priscilla quit begging. Priscilla's begging for one more.
One more. Okay, we'll do one more.
Stop your begging.
Only one more. Okay, so what do I have next? The bear. This was called Bear with an exclamation mark. And I used to have a bunch of prints of it, but I sold all the prints of this one. Believe it or not. And this is Jake from the bear place, but I put him out in the woods. And what this painting is if you know grizzly bears, there's two types of bears that are dangerous. Or I shouldn't say two types of bears. There's two instances where bears are really dangerous that you don't want to mess with them. One, everybody knows, and that's a mother bear with cubs. You don't want to get close to them or surprise them. The other one that not as many people know is when a grizzly bear makes a kill, like an elk or something, they will eat their fill and then they will cover it up with brush or whatever's handy, they'll cover it up, they'll bury it basically, which is what's in the pile behind his hip there. But they'll cover it up and then they'll lay usually not right by it, but upwind from it a little bit, and they'll watch it because that is their food. And if you happen to stumble across that by accident, you are in trouble. Because, just like a bear with cubs, a bear with a cache of food will kill you if you get too close to its food. So anyway, that's what that painting is a bear guarding his cache of food. So
I think the bear's awesome, but I'm more impressed. Show you where my mind is at. I'm more impressed with the how you show that the bank is caving in over time.
yeah, I wanted to do that so that you'd realize he was up on a hill, smelling everything, guarding his food.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to have him high up. So
all the roots and the rocks.
I actually totally made up that bank and everything.
Oh wow. A lot of detail.
So yeah, that's what that painting is. I sold it right away, never entered it in any shows or anything. But I think I made 100 prints of that and I sold them out fast. A man's food is at his castle. Yep. But like I say, most people don't realize that a lot of hikers and stuff that are killed by bears, that's what they came across. A big bear, big grizzly that was guarding his food. because they're every bit as dangerous as a mother with cubs. And if you think about it, it's nature. I mean, that is their life, is the food. So of course they're going to guard it. Priscilla, I watch my food too. Don't blame him. Okay, that's enough for tonight. I'm done boring you guys for now.
I haven't been bored.
So do you have anything exciting to show us, Bob?
Nothing that I can show on YouTube.
Oh no.
That was too easy.
Yeah, I left myself wide open for that one.
Like what? Another dog? Another dog? I can show
Where's
you Rico. Yazi, I think, is inside the pillowcase. He likes to go and get in the pillowcase that's on the pillow on the bed. Because he's not here. There he is. You want to see Pam again? Come on. I probably dropped more than a crumb or two of those nuts, and I'm sure he's had a nut or two. Oh, Priscilla.
Oh, we don't need to see that, Bob.
What? Oh, no.
See, I got you back.
Yeah. Was there any doubt?
I got to turn my camera off for a minute because the cat knocked the door open and there's cold air coming in because it's getting cold at night here. And I don't have pants on, so I'm not going to stand up and have the camera on.
Well, when I stood up, I just pulled my shirt down, but it might not have been enough. Drop some of this stuff, Priscilla. Here's the camera.
Okay, I'm back.
Pam, how secure is that door if the cat can open it?
I have to, like, when I shut it, like pull it a couple times till I hear it click, which I don't always do. And if I don't do it, then the cat can knock it open when he wants to. So he does. But if I like pull it, or if I'm outside, if I'm leaving and push it till I hear it click, it's not going to come open.
Oh, see. So you're kind of leaving it ajar for him.
It's not ajar. It's just like, if it doesn't click, it's not.
The deadbolt thing didn't catch.
Yeah.
Are you at IG?
I learned that the hard way after a couple times of coming home and having Buddy like laying out in the yard waiting for me. Which he doesn't go anywhere. It's not like that's real bad, except that because he's a German Shepherd, people are scared of him. So, and he's real friendly, and anybody walking by, he's going to run up and say hi to him. And a lot of people just about wet their pants when he does. So I'm always careful not to like just leave him outside. Because people are silly. Because Buddy has always been one of those dogs that would never hurt anybody. He loves everybody. Or almost everybody. There's been a couple people he didn't like. And I totally trusted him on it. One of them was a kid that used to live across the street from me. And he was a drug addict and a thief. and Buddy took one look at him and didn't like him. And the other one was one time when I was traveling and I stopped at a rest area and I let Buddy out first and I had him on a leash. And there was a guy down at the restroom leaning against the wall, and Buddy's hair stood straight up and he started this low growl. And I let him go potty, and then I got back in the car and went to the next rest area for myself, because if Buddy didn't like that guy leaning against the restroom, I wasn't going to put Buddy in the car and go down there.
No. He won't, GRB. He won't jump. I can barely get him to jump up in the truck and jump down.
There's Yazzie.
He has his Chihuahua steps by the bed. He's grabbing the plays, stuff like that. The cats are into something. Get him, Yazzie. Get him. Hey, honeybee.
It's good to see you. Yazzie gives the Lion King vibe.
Oh my God.
Looking out over his world. This all belongs to me, or someday this will all be mine, except for that dark spot in the corner where Bob's pants are. Don't ever go there.
Don't go there. Stay away from there.
Oh.
It's the art of darkness. It's okay. It's all right. Let's let Rico come up for a minute. You're always Rico's a cute little boy too. Yeah, yes. Come here, Rico. 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 Rico's like, I'm resting, please.
Oh no, Chewy.
I forgot about the underwear, the boxer short thing. Oh well. Let's see if it shows me.
Oh, and there's little Rico.
It's Rico Suave. Say hey, bitches. Rico's a little applehead, and he's 18. Aren't you, baby? Yep. He came down the Chihuahua steps the other day. It shocked me. I'm like, how did you fall off the bed? And he had just came down the steps.
Hi, Hank.
Howdy, Hank.
That's kind of scary, Kiwi.
Chewy got busted by his own narcotics dog.
Well, it is 11 o'clock here. So I've been going for 2 hours. So what do you guys think? About time to call it good? Bored you guys with some artwork?
You're the boss. It's your stream.
I think it's probably about that time. Tomorrow I promise I'm going to get to the post office tomorrow. I got to. And I'm going to try to figure out a way that I can draw so I can start doing some cards for giveaways again.
There he is. There's Rico.
Oh, that was enough art for tonight. I'll do some more next week. And hopefully I'll have a few little drawings to go away next week. We'll see. We shall see, but I'll do some more art next week. But I think I bored a lot of people out of here.
I don't think so. You got rid of 2 of the dislikes. with the
Yeah.
art.
But there's only 25 people watching, which is pretty low. So I probably did run a few people off, but oh well.
No offense, guys. Only 25 of it.
Yeah, no offense to the 25 that are here. Huh, that doesn't sound good, Kiwi.
Did you catch Priscilla's art stream, Pam?
I did. I've actually been on a lot of streams, but I don't always say anything because it's hard for me to type. So, because I'm typing like one-handed and I'm used to typing with 2 hands. So it takes forever for me to say hi to everybody, and it's hard for me to like hit the shift and capitalize people's names, so I don't, and that kind of stuff. So a lot of streams I watch and just like maybe say hi at the beginning, and then lurk through the rest of them, rest of the stream, watch it, but don't say anything.
That reminds me, I don't know why, but it came to mind. I was going to ask you a personal question, but I didn't intend to do it in front of 28 people. So maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll wait.
Well, I think I'm going to call it a night and say good night to everybody. And thank you, Bob and Yazi
And Rico.
for coming up, and thank you for the super chat. And I will see everybody next week, and hopefully I will be able to tell you about my camping trip. Because
Don't overdo it.
I'm supposed to leave Saturday and come back Tuesday, so, and hopefully I'll have some little drawings if I can figure out how to work on them without killing my arm. Oh, sorry, honeybee. Well, take care of yourself, honeybee. Love you. So, okay, everybody have a wonderful night. I'll see everybody later. And thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
you, everybody.
Oh.
Good night.
There they go. Bye-bye.